Greetings, Commanders! Welcome to Kerrash Landing, the Elite Dangerous Community Show. Commander Kerrash here, and I am very pleased to introduce my guest tonight. He's a long-term viewer, moderator, and streamer himself. It's Gaming with Ian. How you doing?
Hello, I'm doing very well. Thank you very much. How are you, sir?
Very good, thank you. And thank you very much for coming in tonight. I know you always are helping me out with these streams. I really, really do appreciate that. And it's great to have you on finally as a guest.
Yes, it's a pleasure. Oh, so second time actually, Crash. Second time.
Second time, of course, yes. Sorry. It's all a blur, I tell you. I can't believe it. It's how long have I been doing this now? It's just crazy. But yes.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yes.
Now, everyone who's there, greetings to everyone in the chat there. I see some familiar faces and names in there in the chat there. Yes, I think a lot of people might have noticed that I wasn't on last week. Yes, I know. Strange.
Unacceptable.
Unacceptable. I know. It's the beta 1.5 hits, and you know, if everyone's not playing beta, they're playing Fallout, and Crash just disappears off the face of the planet. Yes, I can guarantee now, I wasn't playing Fallout. Don't worry, I wasn't disappearing somewhere else in the galaxy to play a different game. Don't worry. But yeah, I in fact I was celebrating the anniversary with my wife. So yes.
Yes, congratulations again. Well
Thank
done.
you.
What was it, like 16 years or something?
16 years we've been together.
Wow.
Not married that long, but 16 years we've been together. So yeah, we decided to just have a night off without the kids.
Awesome.
Which was great. So yes, to Mrs. K.
Yay. Is she in chat? Let's see.
I think she's probably watching
not there.
TV at the moment. She's trying to ignore me. Yeah, she's trying to ignore me at the moment. But yeah, no, it was lovely. So I apologise for not being here for everyone who did want to see. But I imagine everyone and their cousin was streaming Beta 1.5 last week, I believe. Which was to be expected. I mean, we had a feeling that was going to happen, and we are on the cusp of 2.0.
Oh my god. Next week is going to be crazy. I'm going to have to call in sick or something.
Oh, yes. This was the thing. I mean, we were just talking about this beforehand. That just typical next week. I am so busy next week. I don't know how much time I'm going to have. I've got some plans for the stream. I'm hoping to be back in time. It's going to be a mad rush, but either way, I will get some Beta 2.0 time, even if I have to stay up until midnight and consume more than 50% of my body weight in energy drinks. I will be playing that damn beta.
Yes, must do it. Otherwise, you're not an Elite fan, right?
Exactly. I've been waiting 20 years to land on another planet. I am not going to miss it. I'm not going to miss it.
Nope.
Stephen Usher, yes, they have fixed the hitbox on the Imperial Cutter. Unfortunately, that doesn't include a fix for my bad flying. So, yes, when I'm reading the chat and forgetting that, yes, this thing has huge engine nacelles off to the left and the right. You can't fly it like an anaconda.
I haven't actually tried it yet, to be honest.
It is a lovely ship. If I go ahead and just move it out of the way a little bit, and we'll get it in view so that I can show some of the exterior stuff. And the thing I love about this ship, yes, as update just said there, transcoding is up. I cannot spell. There we go. So yes, we'll go out to the external view. We get a couple of glamour shots of the Imperial Cutter. This thing is insanely big, and I've been playing around with all the things you can do for the upgrades on it, and it's crazy. If you fit this thing out with the reactive armor, absolutely chock full of hull reinforcement packages and all that, the shield boosters, I fit the one shield cell bank, the heat sinks and everything on there as well. You know, put all of that stuff on there, and I literally tanked the Jameson Memorial Station. I went in there, I picked out a couple of NPC traders, mind you, still being nice even in the beta, and I just blew a couple of them and still got away. This thing is insane. It literally is a battle cruiser. You can do anything with this thing.
No, I was messing around with the Corvette, obviously. I'm a Federation guy.
Oh, yes.
Sorry. And I pumped it up full of shield boosters, and I went to a hazardous resource extraction site and just sat there and killed everything. Just mosquito bites, really.
It's crazy, isn't it? It's crazy. It's so powerful. I have got a Corvette stashed away in the in Jameson's there, so I'll head over there in a second if I can find. Where's my? There it is.
Hey, Max Ursa, hello.
Oh, we've got a.
Yeah, but there's been a lot of uproar about the whole increase in heat when you drop a shield cell. And just as watching a guy on YouTube who was testing how to best balance the heat sinks and the shield cell thingies, and interesting stuff there. There's like a whole bunch of tricks you can do that they've already discovered now, that you can, like, what's the most efficient way to do it and all that kind of stuff. So
Yeah,
pretty cool.
I think that's the thing that everybody needs to realize with the beta is the things are going to change. It needs balance. It's going to change the way that you play the game, and what we've been used to playing in the earlier versions is in effect no longer valid. And that doesn't necessarily mean that's a bad thing. It's just there's a different way of playing it. Oh, I've got a Fer de Lance. It's attacking me. Yeah, his shields are already down. I could fire back at this thing, get revenge, and still get away from the station before it destroys me. Pew pew pew. Yes. I think he's going to go down before I do it. But yeah, the oh, here we go. The station's fighting me now. But yeah, the elements of the game are constantly going to be readjusted. Different balance is going to be introduced. I'll just let this thing destroy me. Fire, fire, fire.
Well, I think the thing I like about the fact that it's constantly changing and it's dynamic is you're basically a different game every time it updates. So
exactly.
It's always new.
Exactly. There's new challenges. There's new things to learn. When the mining changes were introduced with the limpet drones, and for example, it completely changed the way that you did mining for the better. And this will happen with all of the updates going forward. And I think the thing that you have to remember when you're looking at that is it's. How can I just? It's very hard to describe, and I think this is why a lot of people think that it's broken with each update. It's like, oh, this is really not right. I don't like this. But the what was in the game to begin with, I think, was balanced in such a way that it made sense then. And as new features come in, things are going to approach the balance that they always should have had. So now, for example, we've got the ships that have the fighter bays on. I'll go ahead and I'll jump in the Corvette now. Because that has a fighter bay on the bottom, which is, oh, there we go. Let's see if I can get it. There we go. Jump in the Corvette, and it starting to make sense now with the balance changes that are coming with the hull packages and the shield changes and the shield cell banks and things like that. For them to be readjusted so they're not as overpowered as they were before. It makes a lot of sense when you consider that they were never intended to be as powerful as what they ended up being. They were just made that way because, well, there isn't the other elements of the game in place for that to make sense at the moment, if you know what I mean. So as the game becomes more fully featured and suddenly we have these big ships that, instead of filling them up with shield cell banks and making them crazy overpowered, they've got a fighter bay. So you can have ships that are intended to last a little bit longer. So you can up the armor of them, for example. You can make them last a little bit longer, specifically because you know that you want that kind of scenario where you have a little fighter going out and having a little skirmish with the bigger ships, slow and hard to maneuver, and the smaller ships zipping around it and that kind of thing. So
yeah, definitely, yeah.
So I think that's the thing, which is, it's difficult to explain. It's difficult to see why something would be set up in such a peculiar way on the first pass, but then as more and more features come into the game and get added, it kind of starts to make sense. It's like, right, so this is why the Federal dropship is the way it is, because once you've used it for its intended purpose, it's like, the penny drops. It's like, right, this is what it's for. Same with the other things. I mean, we know the Orca as well, for example. At the moment, everyone's looking at the Orca and thinking, why have we got it? It's, it's crazy. But then, of course, I think Sandro said, I think it was on last week's stream, I'm hoping he's already confirmed that, that the passenger missions are going to arrive sometime in Season 2, which is... So...
there's a question here from Never Be Alone. Is this game fun yet? Yes, it is. It's always been fun, in my opinion. and there are now, with 1.5, I think 28 ships, or the full 30. I'm not sure.
I think, yeah, there's a couple more to come. I think 2.0 is going to introduce the Cobra Mark 4s in it. So yeah.
Indeed. And there's plenty to do. I mean, like, you got mining, bounty hunting, exploration, you name it. You can do whatever you want. So yeah, I don't understand how people don't have fun in this game, to be honest.
I think it's a subjective thing, isn't it? It's like if you want nothing but sheer out combat action, pew pew all the time, there's a lot in there which is going to satisfy that itch for you. But if you look at it and you look at the trading and the mining and the other things, exploration, the slower elements to the game, and then kind of, well, that's not really my thing. It's not fun. It's like, well, you're looking at a 4-course meal and kind of saying, well, I only really like the meat and potatoes. I didn't like this. I didn't like that. It's not a good meal. It's like, well, you don't have to eat the bits you don't like, and I think that's the easiest way to look at it. It's, find the thing that you enjoy in the game.
Sorry, go on.
Yeah, no, you carry on.
Okay, I was just going to say, like, when Power Play first came out, I was like, what? I'm not going to do this. I did nothing with it. And a whole bunch of uproar, and I know you guys did a stream discussing it for hours on end. And but now I've sort of taken on the Power Play idea, and I'm just going with it. And it makes the game interesting for me now, because, like, I'm not grinding up to rating 5 because I don't see the point. I stick to rating 4, which is just fine. But now that people can see when I'm in game that I'm with a certain power, if they're an enemy, they're going to attack me, and it's happened many times already. So
yeah.
Oh, that's another thing I wanted to tell, by the way.
Yeah.
I always used to play in solo for some reason. I was just terrified of getting blown up by another player. Because, NPCs are a lot easier to kill than a player ship. But
I understand, yeah.
Yeah, but since I've been watching Icy Nona, I'm sorry if I pronounced your name wrong, dude, if you're watching, sorry. He's totally inspired me to play in open play, like, all the time. Because so much cool stuff happens, and I was missing out on that. It was just such a shame.
Yeah, it's strange to explain, isn't it? But it's that the potential of interaction. That's the thing which is really cool about open, is it being in that scenario. I mean, like I am now. I'm in open play right now, and I'm getting attacked. You don't know what's going to happen. It's that sudden kind of like, oh, I've got into an area. There's a whole bunch of people around me. What are they going to do? That's the exciting thing about it. Snoz has just said in there, can you explain power play in one sentence? It's a galactic power struggle for territory.
There you go.
There you go.
That'll work. Okay, you've been showing this thing on screen now. What is
yes,
this?
Sorry, I'm really excited about this. I'm not sure if everyone's aware about this, but the big black section on the bottom of the Corvette shows up on some of the smaller ships as well. I believe this would be the fighter bay that we've heard about. So you can see that is actually quite large when you look at it. I mean, you've got your cargo bay for scale next to it there, and I think you could probably fit a reasonable sized ship in there. I know Sandra said about the Condors are definitely going to be able to fit in there, but I think maybe something a little bigger. I'm hoping a Sidewinder might be able to squeeze in there if it breathes in. But that would be nice. But it is actually available on a couple of the others. I think the one that was mentioned by Sandra was the fact that the keelback is the smallest ship capable of hosting a fighter bay. So that's pretty interesting. You could have something that looks and feels like a trade ship, but actually comes with a bit of a nastier bite under the hood, which is going to be interesting.
Well, the keelback itself was already a bit more beefy, so... Yes,
absolutely. It's got those cool rotating thrusters on the side as well, which I've played with. It's kind of hard to show unless someone else has got them on the stream, but it's really, really awesome to see. But again, this goes back to the earlier point, is the fact that these new things coming in, they introduce new mechanics and new possibilities into the gameplay, which is why the earlier balance doesn't make sense anymore. These things are going to have to change and be adjusted accordingly. So it's constantly going to be in flux. I don't think you can sit there and get comfortable with this particular way of playing the game for very long, because it's always going to change up. It's not going to be until the game's at least kind of feature complete and we've got all of the possible game mechanics in there that we're really going to start to see a solid baseline for how the game balances out, I think.
Yeah, well, I mean, I was reading the newsletter earlier, and David said that the more that they do, the more that they realise what the potential of the game is, or what they can do. So, like, yeah, I'm pretty sure this game is never going to be starved for fun things to do.
Yeah, I mean, speaking of that, actually, before I go on to the keel back, let's see if I can get the newsletter up on the screen a sec. And there we go. Oh, camera. There I am. There's my camera. It's maybe a little bigger. Hopefully that is big enough for you, Snoz. I did see the thing on there, so hopefully I'm big enough. So newsletter 100. Woo!
Yeah.
We made it.
Yay.
We made it to 100. And there's a whole bunch of little sneaky peeks in the bottom, which we get onto. Some of the things that I found really, really exciting is the hint of like the mining elements and things like that.
Yes.
I think a couple of months back I did Squeee when someone mentioned MB4 mining machines, and I think we've got a little hint at what might be coming.
Yes.
So so newsletter 100. Obviously the big news is we're in beta 1.5. Beta 2.0 is going to be hitting sometime on Tuesday. I hope it's early.
So, I hope it's late, actually, because then I know it'll be out and I'll be stuck at work, you know.
True.
But just a quick question for you there, Kerrash. So 1.5 will will release at the same time as 2.0, right?
I believe that's the plan. Yeah. So what the plan is going to be a kind of a slight overlap, where 1.5 we've already got the beta. 1.5 is going to continue to be in beta through next week and beyond. 2.0 is going to run alongside 1.5 beta. The whole point is testing the interaction between players that have different levels of access. That's kind of the point of it, really, so that we can prove that yes, if you've got the season 1 content and player B has got the season 2 content, that when the two of you meet, it's all going to work fine, and he's going to be stuck in orbit because he doesn't have atmospheric shielding and planetary approach suite and all that kind of stuff. Oh, my camera's gone a little blurry there.
Well, in that case, I'm going to have to apologise to Frontier right off the bat, because as soon as 2.0 beta drops, I will not be playing 0.5 beta.
That's it. Gone. That's it. As soon as I can land on planets. Yep. Yeah. I know the feeling. Yeah. We're probably going to have to plan to find some people who do actually have the 1.5 beta, because I don't think there's going to be that many. But
so thank you, Abacus. I've got like 6 million tabs open to paste all these links, and I just forgot to do it.
Oh, thank you, Abacus. Yes, Snoz is right. I Squeee about everything, but mining is cooler than what people think. I like mining. I don't care what anyone says. It is fun. I used to enjoy it back in the old game, and and this is one of the things I think is quite funny, is when people look at mining now in the current game, and they're like, oh, it was so tedious, and oh, you don't make much money and things like that. It's like, well, newsflash, it was never particularly good in the earlier games either. It was really friggin' hard. It was difficult to find any good planets that you can actually mine. It was nigh on impossible to land by yourself. I think I took dozens of attempts before I figured out how to do it. And it was really, really difficult to mine in the earlier games, and it seems a bit daft when people turn around and say it's like, oh, it's no good in the current. I think we've got used to the idea of games leading us a lot more and doing a lot of things for us. Yeah. Now that we've kind of come back and we've made this game do exactly what the earlier games done, it's like, well, now you can see how hard these games were, and they're starting to get introduce things to make that a little bit better. So mining, we'll get onto that shortly.
yes. Let's stick to the plan here.
Yes, sorry.
Getting sidetracked.
I digress.
Oh my god.
Yeah, so here we go. Yeah, I can't believe this. February 2013 was the first newsletter, and here we are on that issue 100. Wow. Crazy. So thank you from David at the head of the newsletter there, with the obligatory jumper on. Of course, we're getting colder weather in the UK, so David is back to the jumpers. Where I said we need a rare woolen good. That's what we need. That's what we need. But yes, 100 newsletters. So obviously we've already been touching on the elements now. The 2.0 beta is coming around. So much more content coming into the 2.0 beta. It's difficult to know where to start. We will zip onto some of the screenshots which are on there later down in the newsletter, because I think that shows some of the elements that are coming in. This is the big news this week, and this is something which was a little bit of a side hit for me, because I was reading down. I was like, oh great, the specifications are here. So the minimum specifications for Elite Horizons. Now, understandably, it's going to put a lot of strain on your system because it's using really, really bleeding edge, ahead of the curve sort of technology in the shader stuff for the procedural generation. So naturally, you're going to need a quad core, 6 gig of RAM, at least a NVIDIA GTX 470 or an AMD 7240 compatible card, so that's DX11, and 8 gig of hard drive. So we've gone up from 5 gig hard drive space up to 8.
Oh no!
Oh, I'm gonna have to, get an extra platter or something. But no, carry on. Go on.
Even these minimum specs, considering what you can do, it's still whoa. That's impressive, right?
Yeah, it's. Crazy to think there's an entire galaxy in here, and just a little sipping away at the specification there. But yeah, that's the minimum specification. That pretty much is me where I am. So I'm gonna start to run into some problems on there. Obviously, the recommended is a little boost in the RAM. Obviously, 8 gig of RAM, a better quad core, because like I said, they do use some cutting edge features to do the parallel generation of the content and things like that. So those are the two things which are going to be a bit of a problem, not necessarily for me, but for my son, because this pretty much precludes him. He has a dual core, and he doesn't have anywhere near 6 gig of RAM. So I'm going to have to start raiding the piggy bank immediately after Christmas, I think, to upgrade his PC for him. But these things happen. I mean, he's got a good enough graphics card. He's got plenty of hard drive space. But so the little bit of a shame there on the thing. But it was understandable. I mean, it's always going to come that new features, new content. It's going to need more of a push. And I think as the game progresses and gets more and more in it, then it's naturally going to evolve with the curve of technology. I think the other important thing, I don't think it's mentioned here, but this was it is mentioned there, but it's not particularly clear. Now, David came onto the forum. I mean, respect to him. We weren't expecting this. We were just all sat there in the moderator chat, and it's like, David's just posted a thread. What's this? And it's like, oh, he's just come out. And fair play. I mean, he sat there for an hour and he was answering questions for people. So the big change in Horizons is the engine is going 64-bit. So I'm hoping that finally lays rest to the threads that we saw in the forum, which was the why is it 32-bit? Why not 64-bit? Yada yada yada. And it was like, well, we didn't need 64-bit back then.
It used and the current version of the game uses very little memory. Actually, I think at least.
Yeah. I mean, I'm usually less than a gigabyte in most things. It's only in intense battles where it goes up any higher, which is crazy when you look at some other games and the usage they're going on there. But yeah, so the engine for Horizons is being converted to 64-bit, and they've done that based on when you launch the launcher for Elite Dangerous, you'll see that there's for the first time you'll get the hardware survey. So they've based it on the hardware survey of all players running the Elite, and found that there was less than 0.5% of players from a long time ago. This was earlier hardware surveys, which were still running a 32-bit operating system. So they've decided then, it makes sense to go to 64-bit. It's going to be a lot easier for them to support it because they were having driver issues with 32-bit. But it also means that they can start to increase the content in the memory usage and that kind of thing, so they can have even cooler looking scenery.
Prime just said something interesting there. The main culprit for memory usage in Horizons is actually graphics drivers rather than us.
I can well imagine that. Yeah, I've done a little bit of engine programming myself, and I hate it when you hit those brick walls and it's like, God, buried away in some DLL or some assembly and you can't touch it, and it's like, right, why are you guys doing this because it's just so inefficient. But yeah, that's an interesting fact to know. Thank you very much. But so it's just gonna mean better and cooler stuff in the future.
I just hope I can play it decent. I've got the same CPU as you, I think, Kerrash. The 920 Core i7.
Oh yes, fantastic.
So I hope it works.
I think you should be okay.
Okay.
I mean, mine's a quad core. It's kept me going for a long time. I'm quite happy with the quad core 920. So it seems okay. I really want to upgrade it, but I think it would just about be passable. Techno Gamer, better and cooler. Yes, absolutely. Progressively more cool over generations. And of course, we've got the NVIDIA's releasing the Pascal processors coming up next year, early next year. They are going to be crazy powerful, and the AMD are going to release something similar with the high bandwidth memory. Just the capabilities of these things is just going to skyrocket. It's going to get exponentially better over the next couple of years, and I think that's the great thing about Elite is rather than stagnating on the point it was back in 2013 and that's the level of engine, it's not going to improve. It's just been keeping up with the technology, so the game is just going to keep getting better with each season. So
Yep.
yes,
Definitely.
Techno Gamer, much buggy, so drink.
Buggy.
Bugger.
Okay.
So let's scroll it. So we've played the video over about 3 or 4 times now. So I'll go ahead and we'll skip on to the next thing on the newsletter there. So the download instructions, yes. So when the Beta 2.0 hits for Horizons, then everyone's going to need to make sure you've got the latest launcher. So again, you need to log on to the Frontier store and get that downloaded. I know we still had a few people in the last couple of betas that were creating threads going, why can't I do this? Why isn't it? It's like, you need the latest launcher. Make sure you get the latest launcher. So
I'm assuming the latest launch also supports like the previous versions of the game.
Do you know what? I don't really know with that one, to be honest. Actually, I'm sure Prime 9 can answer that one, but I imagine it would. I mean, when you look at the nature of the launcher, obviously you have that little area in the bottom there to pick whether you want the live game, the beta, or the combat training demo and all that kind of thing. So I imagine you'll have 2 slots there, maybe based on what level of access you have to the game.
Yeah.
If you've bought Season 2, for example, it should be in there. Question there from Stephen Usher. Your vintage 2009 2.9 Xeon might handle it. Might be able to add an extra stick of RAM and go dual channel rather than triple. See, this is the problem I've got actually. Is it's not necessarily that my processor architecture is, well, it's not great, but it's the RAM I've got. It's real pain in the backside because I've got the triple channel RAM. So it's really hard to find like a set of 12 or 24 or something.
Really? I picked up a set of 12 not too long ago, actually, in September.
Oh, I need to get another set like that. But tricky. See, what I'm thinking is, I think I should upgrade my rig and then surprise my son and say, here, you can have mine.
Yeah, sure.
There you go, like that. Which I know is going to be capable of playing Horizons. So
you can. That'll be the excuse to Mrs. K. Like, the son needed a new computer, so I helped him.
Absolutely. Okay, Prime 9. Yeah, sorry, I should have thought. Of course, there's multiple teams working on different elements of the game. Sorry, but yeah, I think I haven't actually got the picture here. Stupid of me. But the earlier on in the week, I tweeted out about my son. He was helping with the community goal.
Oh, yes.
Managed to get his first Cobra. Yes. And helped out with the community goal, and he was incredibly pleased when he came back from school yesterday and saw that he managed to cash in over 8 million credits for helping out with the community goal. So he didn't know what to do with himself because he literally went from a few 100,000 credits and enough for the Cobra and playing around and that kind of thing, and it's like, what do I do with it? What do I do? Millions of credits. So he's really pleased. So thank you to everyone who joined in with the community goal on that, because it was thanks to everyone's effort that it pushed the tiers up so high that we all got great rewards on that. So thank you.
Yes, indeed. I took part in the bounty hunting portion of the community goals there, and I think I spent a maximum of like 3 hours bounty hunting and earned the 8 million credits. Easy money.
Absolutely, yeah. Abacus, thank you. You put it in the chat there. Let's see if I can get that on the screen.
Oh, yeah.
There we go. So there's my boy with his flashy Cobra. And he managed to, his face when he's like, yes, I made that tier. He got to the 70% bracket and pushed it over into tier 7. So he was very, very pleased with that when he came home from school.
How old is he, Kerrash?
He's 8 now, and he is surprisingly good. I mean, I tried to just hands off and let him do everything himself, and he surprises me every now and then. But he's just seamlessly in request doc, bump, land, jumps straight into the bulletin board, checks for things, looks in the commodity bar, and he's just doing all these things. I'm just like, okay, I'll just let him get on with it. So I'm really, really pleased that he's managed to do that, and he's. I've been asking him, it's like, what do you want to do now? It's like, I like trading. So he's like, I want to carry on. It's like more money.
Yeah, sure. More. Always want more.
Oh, absolutely. Prime 9, you've reached combat rank of competent. You need to.
Yay.
No, to be honest, I mean, this is the beat of us. This is where I was a couple of weeks back, but I've still not managed to get as high as a lot of people in the game. I just don't get the chance to play, other than on these streams. I don't get much chance to play the game. Is the problem? But there we go.
Oh yeah, that's the thing, Prime. Eat your own dog food. Like almost every software company does not use their own software.
But the fact that Prime 9 wants to play the game more, and there are a lot of people in the team that do want to play the game more, I mean, it just proves how good it is, you see.
Exactly.
Another question. Stephen Usher, how old was I when I started Frontier Elite 2? I believe I was about 10, maybe. But I was really stretching my memory now. Oh, goodness. I think I was around 10. I think I was around about that. So the fact that he's already 8 and he's kind of just picking up these systems and just, zooming around, going through the menus, and he's doing all this at light speed, and I'm like, wow, I think that's a testament to how much more approachable the game is now. Even though it's got the same level of complexity as the older games, it's a lot easier to get into for a lot of people. So I think that's a good thing.
Definitely. Yeah, I remember playing the second one as well, the Frontier, and it took me ages to figure out what I was doing. I didn't know what the hell to do.
It was really difficult. I mean, I must admit, it took me years to get it right. I mean, I started playing it when I was 10, but I found it very, very difficult, very hard to figure out how to do a lot of it. I think my first run was literally up into the atmosphere, accidentally hit my lasers, and the Vipers come in and took me out mid-atmosphere. I'm like, what did I do? What did I do?
What happened? Look at that. Toad's offering a trade route for a toxic frog.
Oh, excellent. Thank you. I'll scribble it down for him. Kate Clicks saying is lies. I use toxic frog as slave labor for mining and doing power play runs. See, I said I liked mining. I didn't say why I liked mining.
You could sit back and drink your coffee.
I could, exactly. Okie dokie, Toad. Yes, if I'll try and get Tox to log on when you're online, and then you can share your trade tips with him. And he's, bless him today. I was so surprised with him today. He went to a book fair at school, and instead of getting a book, he decided to get a little pen and a notepad, and he started writing little things in this. So he's wrote where his Cobra is stored, and he's wrote all the little systems he's gone to and things. So yeah, he's a proper elite player now. He's got his own little notepad.
Excellent. Gene Bellow, any news on multiple commanders per account? I'm pretty sure this one's been shot down. It's not going to happen, I think.
I don't think it was completely excluded. I think Michael Brooks did mention that it is on the list. It's something that they wanted to do, but it was way down on the list of priorities because there's so much stuff that needs to go in, really. So it's not completely off the cards. But for me, I mean, the quickest, easiest thing to do is buy another account, which is, I've practically got that. I mean, the other night that my son had to go to sleep, it was getting late for him, so he left his ship sat on the landing pad at the community goal, and we thought, well, we'll leave his ship there, and he can get some trade bonuses, some dividends for just sitting there, sort of thing. Just give him a little bit of extra cash, sort of thing. And it is like, well, yeah, we've got the two PCs running with the 2 accounts, so
why not?
Toad's pointed out, yeah, he's got to help his protege. Yes, Because for those who don't know, yes, my own son names his character after Fiery Toad. It's like,
Exactly.
yeah, not after Dad. No, 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 no. After his favorite streamer. Okay, okay. That's thanks. Thank you.
We still love you.
Yeah, that's okay then. There we go. So I'm playing around with the keel back, and again, I'm showing that I've got the little thing here, so you can see the fighter bay on the bottom here. Can't wait to start using that. That's going to be great fun. Obviously, more on that to come in future updates and everything when we get out of those little fighters.
Yes.
Yes, Bitstorm. Exactly. That's the thing. The keelback is much wider because of those. I don't know if I can show the engine nacelles rotating. If I just spin off there, so you can see the engine nacelles there have spun round and rotated a little bit to give it the extra, pretty good maneuverability on this for a trade ship, basically. But yeah, it is a lot wider, and that's one of the reasons why it can fit the fighter bay in the keelback there. Ooh.
I'm guessing you won't be able to take any other cargo if you do that, though.
That's the thing that I think is going to be an interesting balance. Is when you look at. Let me just see if I can get back into the outfitting screen and we'll have a look at it. I don't know whether or not the fighter bay is going to become an additional module that appears in the outfitting, because we've seen that with the planetary approach suite. A lot of people are asking early on, are we going to have to sacrifice cargo space in our loadouts in order to fit a buggy in? Or buggy! Everybody drink! Buggy! You know, are we going to have to sacrifice some of the cargo space? But of course, when 1.5 beta come along, we can see in the outfitting screen now that the planetary approach suite is a separate slot, which kind of makes sense. I mean, there's more elements to it than just a box that you could fit in a cargo space. You might need some kind of shielding and the mechanical systems inside and things like that. So there's a lot to a planetary approach suite. So it kind of makes sense that it becomes a separate slot in its own right. So I'm wondering whether or not the fighter bay is going to become its own slot again, or if it does genuinely take up some cargo space in order to fit it in, because that would be. But looking at the size of it, it's a vast chunk of the mass of the keelback. Let's see if we can get it up on there. Snoz, Toxic Frog is welcome to join the truckers. Yes, I think I explained to him the other day what the Hutton truckers were about, and I think he has sent a request to join the group. So
good stuff. Toad also posted a link to where is it? HCS voice packs crowdfunding of ship's log.
Oh yes, I've heard about this. Obviously it's public now. This was something we were talking about at Fantasticon actually. Is the new venture that they were working on is what it sounds like, is a way of recording your various achievements throughout your gameplay, which is going to be pretty cool, and it's an extension to the voice pack stuff.
Commander's log, stardate, whatever.
Commander's log, stardate 63459.
Exactly.
I've ventured out into the Pleiades Nebula. No sign of unknown artifacts.
I have to admit, though, I'm not a very big Star Trek fan. Don't shoot me. I'm sorry.
Nah, it's fine. Hey, each to their own. Each to their own. I think it's interesting to see in the Elite Dangerous player bases how many different people like different things. You have different styles of sci-fi that people like. Some people are into Star Wars or Star Trek, or and it's nice to see that cross section of the community. Everyone's got their own interests and things.
Yep. Okay.
Oh, sorry, I don't know if we've missed any questions. Bitstorm, fighter bay. I'm assuming it's a fighter bay, yeah. Nexus reject. It does look like the Panther Clipper, doesn't it? I like those engine assist. Perhaps it's a test bed. That would be fun. Let's go ahead and we've got to put this on. We've got to put these on. There we go. Bobbleheads! Gotta have the bobbleheads.
I didn't know there'd be room for 10 of them, actually, but that's pretty cool.
Yeah, so Ed did give me a little sneaky bit of info on that, saying there's going to be more than one before they got announced, and it's really, really cool, actually, because obviously you can have a lot more customization in your ship. We did see in the newsletter this week, which we'll get back into in a second, the screenshots on there with a few more bobbleheads.
Yes, yeah, I saw that. I got to get the David Braber one. Must have.
You got to get it, and I love the way it does react to the engine thrust as well. So as you're yanking it side to side, he's like yes, no, yeah, oh yes, you can do that. Yes, that's okay. My son was having great fun with that earlier on. He's like, David, should I eject? Yes, and he's like yanking the stick back and forth. Great fun. But yeah, here we go. So we got if we scroll down on the things, we've got the planetary approach suite at the bottom that I was talking about. It obviously it shows up at the bottom of the moment. We can't do anything with it. We haven't got any. But yeah, does that fighter bay in the back of there mean that we're going to have to sacrifice module space? That's going to be an interesting thing. Mrs. Noodles, hello, Mrs. Noodles. We need a crash bobblehead.
That's been in discussion for so long. We just have to have it now. It's a given. Yeah.
Oh, I suppose. Yes. Okay. We got.
Well, Prime's here. Prime's here now. We get Prime. Can you maybe drop in a good word at FD there?
I would love it. I would throw money at Squeee. Now, I did ask Michael Brooks at Fantasticon. I said, "How much money do I need to raise to get a bobblehead created?" And he didn't come. His only answer was, "How much have you got?" Typical Michael. Yeah, just dry into the point.
Look at that. Prime says, as of next build, the bobblehead should wobble as the landing pad shuffles around.
Oh, excellent. Let's see if I can. Does it do it?
Detail like that makes it awesome, right?
Oh yeah, I can see at the moment it's locked, but yeah, okay, yeah, cool. I gotta go ahead and launch in a second. Bampotman, planetary approach suite, is that like atmospheric shielding? I think it's different to atmospheric shielding because Horizons is obviously non-atmospheric, non-volcanic worlds, so there is technically no atmosphere, but I think it's all the systems and modules that you need to operate under when you're inside a gravitational well, because at the moment the super cruise shuts down when you get too close to the gravitational well of a planet, so you need something to compensate for that.
Yes.
Snoz is saying, which do you think should happen first, an Alvin bobblehead or a Crash bobblehead? I say an Alvin bobblehead. Absolutely.
I say Crash.
In fact, I mean, I'd love to see all the variations and things. I mean, definitely a mug. We've got to have a mug. That would be such an easy thing. I mean, if I can model that now, I'll load 3D Max up and we'll model a mug, if that helps. I know it's nowhere near that simple to get something into the game, but hey, we got to have a mug.
Gotta have a mug. Oh, interesting piece of information right there.
Oh.
Toad said the pad disappeared from between your legs in the cockpit. And Prime said, only temporarily.
So, yeah, people were pestering me for information on this, and I haven't said anything. But yeah, yes, it has disappeared for the time being. But I think some things have been hinted at that. I mean, in a couple of weeks prior, I think in the live stream, David was showing the was it you could look down and it came up with that floating GUI in front of there, and you could choose to board your ship or call your ship back to land and pick you up when you're in the SRV. So I think it kind of put two and two together.
Yes, indeed.
See, Primeline's very, very, very kindly explained what the planetary approach suite is there. So it includes things like terrain scanners to make the ship able to land, plumbing to make your ventral thrusters able to generate much higher sustained forces to fight gravity. Interesting, I see. So, right, that makes a lot of sense, really, when you think about it. The thrusters in space would be set up in a certain configuration to be good for the zero-G maneuvering, but you'd obviously want to divert a lot more power to the vertical thrusters, so that you're...
I'm interested to see if there are actually planets that you can land on where the... how would it be if you land on a planet where the gravity was so strong you couldn't take off anymore?
Very good, yeah.
That would suck.
Yeah,
but is it possible? Is the procedural generation configured to do that? Maybe. I'm not sure.
It would not surprise me if it was. I mean, your only option then is going to be this one here, is the old self-destruct button. But I think I was streaming way back in like episode 6 of Kerrash Landing, and I think when we were playing Frontier Elite 2 on that, I had a Lion transport, an MB4 mining machine, and I went down to this planet which had something like about 4 Earth Gs, I think it was. It was really, really high gravity. And the only way I could land on it was I had to ease my way in with the main thrusters behind me and then just kind of slowly roll onto my landing gear. And it was really, really hard to manage to get back off again without slamming back into the surface. It was really difficult. So, wouldn't surprise me. Malik's saying they're going to run a competition for his modelling students to have a crack at the crash bubble. Yes.
Excellent.
Oh, awesome. I'd love to see that. You have to get some of them to do that and tweet it out. I imagine there's plenty of pictures of me going around for reference. Yeah,
Rhea wasn't in FDL shooting you, Kerrash. No.
Oh, of course not. No, I didn't. Rhea would never do that.
Ooh.
Was it Rhea, David? Was it Rhea? David saying yes, actually.
Yes. Oh, that's awesome. It's like a personal magic 8-ball.
It is, yes, absolutely. Brilliant. Although it's just so much fun. So I think we should get back onto the newsletter, actually, because we've digressed into all of the cool ships that are in there. I imagine everyone has seen them this week. Like I said, there's a lot of people who have been streaming the beta and everything. Ooh. Let's get this full screen. Oh, can we make that? There we go. It's difficult to get this in the right scale so everyone can see it. Hopefully everyone can see that.
Yep, it's good.
Cool. Oh, there we go. So that's the scale. So this is one of the sneaky peek screenshots that was in the newsletter this week. Something new in the background you'll notice. I don't know if I can't really zoom in on these anymore, but it did explain in there that these automatic mining limpets. Yeah, so that's a really interesting little snippet that's been exposed. There is the idea that you could find these bases where they're like extracting all the resources from a rich spot somewhere on the surface of the planet. There, you can maybe sneak in and take a few samples for yourself if there's something worth stealing. I mean borrowing, liberating, something like that. Yeah.
Taking without authorization.
Exactly. So that's Stephen Usher. Yes, you're right. It's not quite a mining machine, but if it mines from the surface and we can go down and we can steal from it, and maybe we can have a mining limpet controller, I am going to be a happy bunny, because it's just going to be like I'm 10 again and I can play with all these cool toys. So.
Forever a child.
Absolutely, yes. Absolutely.
I'm the same way, man. It's like my wife hates it every time I bring it. If I mention the word elite, she just goes crazy.
I know the feeling. I've been waiting. A lot of us, we've been waiting for 20 years for this. So it's like we've paused our childhood to catch up. You know?
Oh, sure.
So we all regress to being 10 again. So. Commander Malik's asking now, can we deploy our own mining drones, though? I don't know. I would hope so. It would be cool. Yes, it would be really, really awesome if you can do that. It kind of gets tricky at that point, because it's kind of like you're making some persistent change to the galaxy, which is a difficult thing to do because it has to be persisted across all the servers for all players to see and that kind of stuff. That's where it gets into that real tricky nightmare of whether or not it's possible. But we can do it with wing beacons, things like that. So I can imagine that, yeah, okay, you could drop one of these things down like you used to do with the MB4 mining machines. You could drop one of these things down, and then it becomes a beacon which you can target when you come into the system. Ideally, you don't really want anyone else finding the damn thing, so you'd hope it would be encrypted in such a way that only you can pick up that beacon anyway. Yeah. So, and the chances of someone stumbling across something the size of a mining limpet on these planets is, like a needle in a needle stack. So, there we go.
Seeing if there are any other questions we missed.
Yes, sorry, yeah, let's scroll through quickly. Sweet Squeee, yes, lots of Squeee.
Ranks required for the cutter/corvette.
Nobody knows yet. Nobody knows, and I don't believe it's actually. Oh, there's Rhea. Is that Rhea? Yes, there's Rhea. Hi, Rhea. I don't think anyone knows the ranks yet, but one of the handy things which has been put in on the beta, we now got progress bars.
Yes.
So
they're awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. And it seems like a silly little change, but just having these little UI changes really helps to, it gives it a sense of perspective, and it allows you to set a goal. When you can see how far along you are to something, you can see how much more effort you need to put in. It really kind of allows you to be a bit more kind of enthusiastic about reaching something. I think when it's blank, when you can't see that progress bar, and it just feels like it's taking forever to get from one point to another, it can just be, it can feel like a grind. But I think once you've got something there visible which says to you, it's like, right, you are 50% of the way there. You can kind of think, it's like, yeah, I can do this. I can do it. It incentivizes you to go for it, I think, which is cool.
Well, yeah, there's I've seen a couple of questions on the forums and stuff about like people wondering how do they get their rank up, and I'm pretty sure that the only way to do it is to do missions for that what do you call it, like Federation or Empire or whatever,
to wrap up through the for the different superpowers, which I've been doing this week actually. And Abacus is watching. Lunchtime today, Abacus, I reached Baron too, so yay!
Yay!
We're both Baron now. So it literally is doing things like that. I mean, donation missions mainly seem to be the best ones, but anything for the power which helps. So it kind of bring you up through the ranks, and it's going to be so much easier to see on there that you are making progress. It isn't just time being spent and not getting anywhere. So that's really cool to see. Lots of UI tweaks have made it in. Actually, I was just showing there the. Cargo can be filtered out, so you can see things which are specific for missions and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
Stolen, illegal. Same with the navigation panel as well. You can set filters.
That's my favorite. That's my favorite one.
Which is everyone's going to do that. Turn off the asteroid clusters. Nobody wants to see the asteroid clusters. Woo!
Yeah, we'll all turn them off, and then they'll sneak some sort of gameplay into the clusters, and we'll see them
everyone
turned off.
Them. But so that's absolutely. Scout Zero's jigging at the idea of cargo filters. I mean, these are all the kind of things that we've been asking for a while. Is these little UI tweaks that just make it so much more usable, and it's nice to see them finally go in. Like I said, it's just a quick question of patience. I mean, Snow Imp, greetings. Didn't see you sneak in.
Can I just jump in with one more question, because it's been bothering me?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, go ahead.
On navigation, if you set plot a route to a system, in the current version it shows like a number and then a plus sign.
Yes.
And now they've changed it to the exact number of jumps. Well, I don't understand why they put like 5+, when that means you have to do 6 jumps to get there.
Yes.
I'm trying to figure out what the logic was behind that.
I think the intention originally before, so we can see there now, it says it's 3 jumps to Mazzoni. So nice and simple. I think the intention was the final jump was just not included, so it was like it would say +2 jumps, which was always a little bit strange, wasn't it? So I think that's the nice thing when the UI gets a pass and it's like, oh yes, that's so much more logical. That makes sense. We can see that definitely means I have to make 3 hyper jumps to do that thing now. So again, a nice little touch on the UI there, and all of these things are just make the game so much more approachable and easier to understand for a lot of players.
Okay, I'll stop interrupting now so we can get on with the news.
No, absolutely. No, that was. I'm glad you reminded me, because that was something I wanted to point out as well. Where did we get to? So let's get the next sneaky peek up on there. I had lots of sneaky peeks this week. There we go. Let's see if we can make that. There we go. It's widescreen. So the next one along, we've got a crashed ship with a whole bunch of cargo canisters in there, a bunch of destroyed cargo canisters and stuff as well. So this is something that Michael's hinted at was going to be a possibility. This is the first real kind of up close and personal screenshot we've seen of it here, and it's it's interesting to see. I think that the newest thing that we've got on here is obviously the wave scanner here. Much Squeee. Absolutely. The wave scanner here that gives you that indication as a strong indication of something interesting in that particular direction there, which is going to be really, really cool when you're looking around on the planet trying to find interesting areas on there. It's trying to figure out exactly what all of these readings mean on here. It's other than the fact that it shows a strong indication of some signal source coming from that direction. It's going to be interesting to figure out how that mechanic works and how to read it.
It looks like a depth sounder to me.
Kind of, yeah, almost like a sonar, radar, that sort of effect on there. So you can imagine it doing a sweep. But the most interesting thing is in the bottom left corner here. We've got legal salvage. Yes, you heard
Yay!
it. It is perfectly within your rights to rescue this, liberate this cargo without getting into trouble with the local authorities. Yay! Legal salvage.
Collect stuff.
Absolutely. We're a cleanup crew. We're saving them from the environmental disaster of all that gold being left on its own. I mean, it's a travesty. Let's go ahead and get the next screeny. And here we go. And this is nice. So this was kind of hinted at the idea of we've got the Corvette there, a bunch of Federal, is that a assault ship, a drop ship, and a Corvette there in the distance. If you look really closely, you can see that's not a Corvette, sorry, a Condor in the distance, which is like been hinted at there. So doing a canyon run. So the idea that maybe you could do an approach to a station off the radar, kind of sneak in from a few kilometers away so they don't detect you coming in. So much Squeee in this screenshot, and up in the distance there in the background, you can see there's a dual planet system up in orbit there, which is just so cool. I mean, you imagine going down onto every single night sky that you look at on these planets is going to be so unique, so many different elements to it. It's just going to be really, really awesome.
I know. I'm gonna take a serious exploration trip when 2.0 drops.
Absolutely. And that's what Abacus and I were planning. Is that we're working on ranking up and doing all the trading and everything. As soon as 2.0 is live, it's straight in the DBX and off we go. As soon as I have that buggy, yay! Everybody drink. We're off and we're gonna go find some really cool stuff.
Sounds like fun. Yeah, I've got a couple of mates who want to do the same thing, so I'm gonna link up with them and go for it. It's gonna be fun.
Yeah, it's gonna be great fun, and just the things you can do. I mean, I think there's going to be. I mean, like David said, he was talking about the illegal buggy racing footage that he put out yesterday. The fact that even though the game doesn't have the mechanics built in for a racing system per se, we're going to do it.
Of course.
As soon as we can get in the damn things, we're going to be racing around, blowing each other up. Destruction Derby. I know Kate's going to be doing Destruction Derby with those vehicles on there. But yeah, I mean, things like this, like you see in above there, just the idea that you don't have to fly straight at a base and attack it head on. You can take a tactical approach. You can work together in a wing, like we see above here. Approach it from a canyon, and send in the heavy guns. Take out the shield generators. Someone can drop down in an SRV and sneak in and steal something from the base and stuff like that. So much gameplay is going to be included in these surface ventures. It's just going to be mind blowing. It's crazy.
And a question: will there be a separate overview map for a planet? I can't remember what the actual answer was there on that one. I
think that's a yes. I think there is. Oh, what was it? Was it Michael answered that or Sandro answered that in his last stream? He mentioned the idea of being able to scan it, and like Prime 9 was saying as well, is that the planetary approach suite contains a bunch of scanners and things like that. So I think we should see some elements like that.
Let's see. Sparrow Black said, wasn't a planet map already confirmed by David? I can't remember if he mentioned that in his Q&A stream.
Maybe it was David's Q&A stream. I distinctly recall it being mentioned.
Okay, well, there you go.
Yeah, I believe it's in there. Michael, Stephen was just saying Michael said that, but it would only have points of interest on there, perhaps. I thought it was more than that. I've got a feeling it was mentioned by David as having a little bit more detail like that. But again, we will find out soon. I mean, it's soon, TM. We'll be playing around with it next week.
I can't wait. Yeah. It's going to be so awesome. I think I'm going to take Wednesday off.
See, I wish I could.
Are you going to be training the whole week?
Pretty much, yeah.
Oh no, that's horrible.
So even if it does get released late on Tuesday, I can't stay up late because I've got to be up really early. But never mind. ZR's one there, yeah. Planetary approach, sweet. Yes, is sweet, exactly.
We haven't even seen it yet.
No,
it's going to be awesome.
It's gonna be awesome. I might have seen it. I can neither confirm nor deny. So here's the final screenshot we got on here. Lots of little interesting details we've got as well. So we've got a couple of new bobbleheads that no one's seen in the game yet. We've got the female avatar there, and we've got the old one of the Paraplay leaders at least. We haven't got all of them in there yet, but as we've seen in the beta at the moment, you can have 10 bobbleheads at a time. So if you wanted to have all of the Paraplay leaders to be, fair and unbiased, nice skin there on that ship as well. I'm not sure if that's one which has been released.
Is it the Viper
I think that's the Viper Mark IV, yeah, and that's a new skin on me, so I haven't seen that. Other little bits and pieces we've got in here. We've got this poor Fer de Lance getting blown to shreds up in the top of the screen here,
and rightly so.
Exactly, yeah.
Damn Fer de Lance.
Yeah.
Always kicking my butt.
Absolutely. And the interesting thing, we've got the Goliath targeted over in the background here, and you can see it just down in the bottom corner selected. And that's one of the bigger skimmer drones that you're going to see flying around on the surface. This one is pretty large, I think bigger than the SRV by some factor. So those are the ones you really want to watch for. So that's interesting. I think that's the first time we've seen that, even though it's just a few pixels. I can't see any closer, but it's just there. And I think it's nice to see a flyby approach shot from this angle of a base, because I don't think we've seen a base this big. I mean, even the videos that we've seen, Rhea's pointing her railguns at everyone. Okay, Rhea. We've seen some of the videos and things of the base, the illegal racing video that I played right at the start as well. It shows the base up close, but it's hard to get a sense of scale. When you look at it this size, you see, over in the distance there, we've got that skyscraper. That is a massive multi-story building there, and you can get a sense of scale of these things. These bases are going to be huge, and in some cases sprawling over quite a large area. So I think that's nice to see. I mean, I've not seen anything quite that size, before. So it's nice to see those in the screenshots.
Yep, definitely. That sense of scale. I'm still missing that. I'm not going to be able to get it until I actually play it myself, I don't think.
Yeah, I think that's even in the screenshots and things like that. It's good to see that, but until you actually get in play on it, I think it's going to be really difficult to get an idea of what that sort of scale is. But can't wait.
Indeed. Maria has a question. If you take a look at FTL's behind.
Okay.
Okay.
There's Rhea. Where's she going? Is she going to? Oh, she's bounced off a Corvette there. Big ships have the right of way. Okay, I'm looking at the Fer de Lances behind. Oh, no, I'm not. I'm bouncing over you. Keel back takes a little while to stop. Sorry. Snow Imp, have you got a problem with your joystick? I don't know what Rhea's doing now. I think I might have caused a bit of friendly fire to go on there. See, this is the great thing about betas, you can play around.
Oh, she says there's an airlock, a big airlock. Is it for a buggy or maybe a fighter?
Let's go and have a look. Hang on. Let's come and have a look.
Or neither.
We can speculate. We can speculate by all means. Let's have a look at the back.
That's always fun. You haven't shown your warning yet this stream, Kerrash. We're doing something wrong.
We're not speculating enough.
Well, more speculation.
More speculation. Everybody, start talking about the Thargoids.
Coming next week.
There we go.
No.
I see. Yes, we got that. It does look like a separate section, doesn't it? Absolutely.
Catch up.
Let's get a little bit closer. There we go. I'll leave that on there for a second. Yeah, definitely looks like there's something on there. Does it say airlock on it? Yes, it does say airlock. So there is something there. Maybe the back can fold down onto like a diagonal platform or something for the buggy to roll out. Buggy.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly. Stephen Usher saying there looks like a ramp of some sort. It definitely does. If I rotate up the other way, you can imagine that drops down.
Maybe you could drive your buggy in and out without having to
up and over the top.
Do that special lift thingy that.
I think that's worth speculation.
Speculation.
We can neither confirm nor deny the presence of a buggy in an FTL.
Excellent. She just shot you.
Yeah. It's okay. It's just a flesh wound. It's okay. But yeah, I mean, this is the interesting thing I found is, like I said, with those fighter bays appearing on the ships, we can see the ships have been getting these incremental tweaks and changes from their initial versions, and it's hard to see over time because they've changed so slowly. But I think if you went back and looked at some early screenshots of some of the same ships way back when, like, you know, looking down it between the cockpit, you see the screen is now gone. I think Frontier are kind of slowly introducing these new features and stuff, which means that the ships are slowly changing and getting new styles and new designs and new elements added onto them and things like that. So we're going to see slow incremental changes in these ships, and suddenly more parts of them are going to become more apparent as to why the Anaconda has this huge section underneath it, which looks like it could drop down and support some other area inside it or something like that. So
yeah, sure.
You know, all these things are suddenly going to start making more sense as more of the content becomes available in the game in future seasons and things. Techno Gamer saying a Lamborghini buggy, of course, with the Fer de Lance. You would expect nothing else. It has to be top notch buggy.
Exactly. It's full on like precision hardware type thing.
Absolutely, and of course the Scarab that we've seen in all the screenshots and stuff is just the first iteration of a vehicle we can get on the surface. There are going to be a few more coming over Season 2 as well. So
Prime is waiting for 1.5 to go live for his 30 to get its lovely tasty buff. Okay.
Yes. So the Fer de Lances are getting a little bit of a tweak. I think they've already been tweaked in the beta. Sandra did come onto the forum and mention this. I think the power plant has been upped. I think the heat capacity has been buffed a little bit as well to make them a little bit better. And this goes right back to the first point I was trying to explain earlier on in the evening, is that the balance of the ships that we have now was made based on what was available in the game. Once the newer features and functions become available, it kind of makes sense that they have to be tweaked and changed to fit the newer features which are coming in. So
yeah, well, like when I finally reached a stage that I could afford a Python or an FDL, I originally bought an FDL. I'm going like, I'm full on combat, I want to kill things.
Mm-hmm.
And to be honest, I was very disappointed with it, and I switched to the Python, and like that's been my favorite ship ever since. But I don't know. Every now and then I try a Fer de Lance. Like it's cool, but it just doesn't have the power I want. You know.
Well, I think you need to get into the beta and give it a try and see what you think of the new tweaks that have gone in. Because I think with the additional power capacity and stuff like that, you might fall in love with it all over again.
Okay, I'll give it a go.
Stephen Usher, you wonder if the minion upgrade has happened. I think some of the elements that Sarah Jane was working on, I think, have gone in. Maybe not all of them. I can see Rhea staring at me. That's kind of freaky. I can see it. I'm going in my hangar. I don't trust her. It's just a Fer de Lance kind of hiding behind the buildings, like watching you. But yeah, I think some of the incremental tweaks have gone in. I've noticed that the ships can do the avoid the old flying backwards and shooting at them tactics, so they've got some new tactics going in. I think a lot of SJ's time was taken up with programming things like the collision avoidance for the skimmers and things like that, which of course is a massive challenge. I know she did some really cool work with the collision avoidance in the asteroid fields, which I was talking to her about that. I said that must have been a friggin' nightmare when you look at these, you know, the bounding volumes for the asteroids. Not only are they're changing because they're rotating, you've got ships flying around that you have to avoid at the same time. It is literally a minefield of of a collision avoidance problem, and all in 3 dimensions as well. And there's no up, there's no down, and really really crazy problems. So she's done some cool work there.
I'm interested to see how that goes, because in 1.4 I've noticed the AI, especially in an asteroid field, they run into asteroids all the time. It's ridiculous. It makes my job easier. But
Yes, boom. I mean, I think that's the tricky thing with any AI programming that you do is you can't create them to be completely infallible. Because people wouldn't believe it. That is the easiest AI to do, to make the AI totally perfect and never make a mistake and hit every shot. Is the easiest thing to do. It's typically when I've built AI routines up, that's the first pass, that's the naive approach. You make an AI do everything perfectly. It can calculate the exact trajectory of where it needs to shoot its gun so the bullet meets you when you get there, and all that stuff. It's all math, it's all angles and things like that. The difficulty with AI program is making it believably fallible. Is that
exactly.
you expect it to occasionally bump into an asteroid and make a mistake and fire a little bit too far ahead or too far behind and things like that, to make it feel like it's a real opponent that you're up against. That's the tricky thing.
Indeed.
Prime9 saying that if you're bold enough to try it, the Fur Lance has now got the juice to run 5 beam lasers.
Melting ships within seconds. I was winged up with a mate of mine and his Python, and he had a whole bunch of beam lasers on it as well. And every time I was next to him and he fired the thing off, it sounded so scary. I was like, I'm glad I'm not on the receiving end of that thing.
Oh dear. Yeah, it's scary. I've seen a couple of builds of those things, and it's powerful. Any more questions before we jump back onto the newsletter then? Scout Zero. What will happen in Horizons if you try to approach an atmospheric planet? Will it just react as it does now, or will it blow up or something? I imagine you're going to drop out in the exclusion zone, like what you do now. Prime9 might know the correct answer, but that's speculating.
My guess would be you just get dropped out of Super Cruise if you get too close to the planet or something. I think.
Oh, Prime9's just got an interesting anecdote there. Speaking about AI, in Half-Life 2 they had a bug where the AI occasionally went mad and just charged at the player. They didn't manage to fix it, they just left it in, and the AI... Oh, they made the AI occasionally scream, "Cover me, I'm going for it!" I remember that happening. Everyone thought it was a feature. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, that's the thing. Is you uncover these interesting behaviours when you're messing around with finite state machines and things like that to play around with AI. It's really fun. I enjoy that. I should do more engine stuff. I know.
You don't have the time though.
I know. Too many hobbies, too many things I try to help with and everything. Rhea, you've been using plasma and 4 railguns on your Fur hands. Wow.
That's be hard to hit things though.
Crikey! And now you've got a Class 6 Class 6 power plant. You can also run the prismatic shields and stuff as well. That's crazy. No, I mean I've seen Rhea fly. I mean railguns and plasma. That's walk in the park for Rhea. That's why I've hidden in my bunker. I'm not coming back out until she's gone.
Yeah, I ran into her in game sometime by pure accident, because we're not even on friend list or anything like that. I turned the other way.
Yes, like nope. Buggy, who said buggy? Bugger.
Sorry about the typing. I've got a very loud keyboard.
Oh, no problem. A Marathon, yeah, that's a good thing, because at the moment the NPCs, they tend to do that death spiral when they're going off. They say, they need something like that, just a message pop up saying, "My stabilization has failed," as they fly off into the distance. Yeah. Oh, Prime9, yes. See you in the void, Commander. Thanks for joining in. Thank you for answering questions. I appreciate that. Always working. Take a rest. Have a break.
Take a rest. Go play the game.
You guys deserve a break.
See you, Prime.
So let's jump back in. So I hope everyone had a chance to catch up with Educating Ed yesterday. I caught a little bit of it at the end. I was so busy working up until God knows when last night. But yeah, Educating Ed last night was so funny. I've watched a little bit back on YouTube as well. He was working with the Canon Research Group, the guys that are trying to figure out what's going on with the unknown artifacts. And they sent him this care package with the most hilarious costume. So he had the orange jumpsuit, the chemical jumpsuit over the top. He had his tinfoil hat on ready, which made his hair look even shinier. And yes, he was helping them uncover the mysteries of the unknown artifact. But next week, with sorry.
Yeah, I was just about to say, I love that picture that that he posted with the happy birthday and with the Breaking Bad guys next to him. Awesome.
Yeah, that was really, really cool. And I think as we've now kind of stumbled across it, we should absolutely wish Mr. Lewis a happy birthday today. Yes, Ed, the community manager, it's his birthday today, so yay! Happy birthday, Ed! I think is Plipe still around? So Plipe was threatening that we should all sing happy birthday to him, but we don't have any music. We need to get everyone on TeamSpeak or something, and we can sing along.
I'm not going to. Everyone will run away if I sing. Maybe yes. if I had a Jameson or something, I might do it, but no.
That's what we need. A little bit of alcoholic encouragement to do that. But yes, so happy birthday to Mr. Lewis there. Yes, so next week Ed will be doing he'll be joining the ED Hungry group. He's going to be doing the R-Type challenge. So that'll be interesting. If you get, please do try and tune into that. There we go. There's Ed in his. Brilliant. So please do tune in and support Ed on that next week. On the 26th there, if you can tear yourself away from the 2.0 beta.
Nope.
I know I know this is going to be hard, but please. Oh, there we go. XOD's got the large format picture on there. Let's see if we can get that on there. Let's get that up on there. See, there we go. Look at that. See, that's what it's all about. That's the fun that they have in the Frontier offices. I see. But yes, kudos to Ed there, being a good sport today, going into work and not getting ribbed too much. I hope.
That's brilliant.
Oh dear. So yeah, I think we touched on this as well. So if Toad is still in the chat, I think we were talking about this early on as well. The HCS voice packs, Verity is available for pre-order.
Oh,
Yay!
Yes.
So if you do use HCS, if you voice attack, or if you do use any of the other voice packs, you probably know about this already. But the idea of the voice attack is it allows you to have spoken commands, you have voice commands which can be translated into key inputs into the game. Some streamers, and particularly Fiery Toad, has got a really, really awesome setup. He's got multiple AIs answering him back and giving him rude comments and things like that, and being able to play I Spy and things like that, which is really, really cool. You can do some really cool customization with it, but just the fact that you can have Brian Blessed in your cockpit arguing back at you is, oh, I do love a bit of Queen, which just always makes me laugh. But yeah, Verity is voiced by none other than Verity Croft, Jim Croft's wife, the voice of the ships you hear in Elite Dangerous anyway. So she's voiced a whole bunch of additional responses for the players, which means you get an even more cool and interactive experience in the game, which is really, really awesome. Yeah, Toad's put the link up in there. Thank you, Toad. So if you don't already have the voice pack, then go ahead and click on that. Please have a quick look and see if you want to pre-order it. It is really, really cool. I had a sneaky peek. I know some of the bits that go in there, and Toad's done some good demos on his stream as well. Everyone should be following Toad. I don't need to tell you to follow Fiery Toad wherever the chat is. The chat over there somewhere. Fiery Toad's about there now somewhere. But yeah, he's got a sneaky peek at the Verity pack, like an alpha version, and it's really cool actually. Also, it's got like little commands in it. I think like automatic taking off, ascending 50 meters once you launch and things like that. Loads of little handy additional bits and pieces on there, which makes it really, really cool.
Voice attack, is it Windows only? I think so, yeah.
I believe so.
Let me check. I'll check.
Yeah. I mean, it's voice attack is a completely third-party standalone utility. It's not associated with Frontier, but they've been great sports with it. And I mean, as you can see, they've really got on with the guys here and worked together to make this happen. So that's really cool. And the voice packs is kind of is another third-party layer on top, which makes voice attack even cooler. So,
Yes, indeed.
ooh, Kate's is coming in December as well.
Yay!
Yay! Yay! Loads of cool voice packs from the community. That's going to be cool. That's going to be awesome. I was talking to the guys at the HCS voice packs actually, and I was saying, you know, what do I need to do to get my own voice pack on there? You know, just semi-joking on it, and I said, well, you know, we might be able to sort that out. But I said, you know, to be fair, every single thing would just be unintelligible. It's like, ooh, a planet, squee, and it's
you wouldn't need any other words, Kerrash. It was just squee.
Yeah, different levels of pitch of squee, and you'd eventually get used to it. It's like, oh, that's a hostile target, or that's a certain level of squee. Right? Okay.
Exactly.
Yeah. So.
That with the bobblehead, you know, get ready.
Exactly. That's it. I'm done. That's it. That's all I need. That's all I need. So I think we did mention the community goals earlier on this week. Obviously, the one that was completed earlier this week was build a station in the Pleiades Nebula, which has been it's hit its 7th tier. So I think we should get a black market. We was pushing hard to get to those tiers. It was a shame that we didn't get higher, but it was nice that we got to a black market, because that's going to be really cool for explorers that have managed to find some salvageable wreckage. They can come back in and sell all of those goods out there as well, which is going to be really, really cool. But yes, Abacus for the station.
For the station.
We worked damn hard. We were up very late, pushing and bringing hundreds of tons. I think I managed to I shifted over 13,000 tons after trying to help the goal out, which got me into the top 5%.
That is impressive. Excellent.
So it's really great to see that. And we've got a couple of new ones coming in now. The interesting one, which everyone's been talking about, I've heard about this, is they want onion head.
Yes.
Someone's managed to cultivate the drug again and get a very pure version of the onion head. Although I have been hearing people saying, how are we supposed to do this when it's a rare and they want such quantities of it? How are we going to achieve it? So it's going to be interesting to see how we manage to do it. I think we just need to convince more people in the community to get involved and do it. I know my son, he's got the bug now. He loves trading, he loves the community goals, so he's definitely going to be sat alongside me as a co-pilot, helping deliver many more tons.
Excellent.
Oh, Fiery Toad's doing it now. Excellent. Nice one. Nice one. I need to jump into that.
He's got a thing for CGs the last couple of weeks.
Oh yeah.
Old Toad.
There's been a lot more. I think actually. I think the volume of them is ramped up. I think a lot of people were saying it's a double-edged sword. It's like there's more of them, so it's great. There's more to do, and there's more variation. And if you prefer one version of the goal over another, so if you prefer the combat or the trading, you can do. There's something for everyone at the same time. But on the other side of it, it's a shame that you can't do all of them. It's like I want to help with all of these goals, and it's like I'm spread too thin. It's like I can't help with this because I'm helping with this one, and it's like my faction is losing influence. I really need to help them out, but I can't. I mean, anyone who says there's not enough to do in this game, I think they're just completely missing the point. It's like,
I think so, yeah, because it does also require upkeep. If you gain ranks or whatever, then you have to make sure you keep that rank by doing stuff.
Yes, yeah, absolutely. And
there's only so much you can commit yourself to in the game, sadly. But
yeah, and it's just too much to do. Way too much to do.
Want it all.
Yeah. So if you want to get involved in that one, you need to head on over to the Zalabara system and accept that community goal to get some more details on there. I think we should head back into the beta now. I think we've gone through. I mean, we've shown the keel back. We've gone through some of the new ships, the Corvette, the Cutter. I think everyone's already seen like the Viper Mark IV. Unfortunately, the Cobra Mark IV we're not going to see yet.
I'm really looking forward to that one, actually.
Yeah, it does look really, really cool, actually. I think the Viper is the only one I haven't gone over tonight. I haven't had a chance to play with the Viper very much. Of course, everyone's first reaction is the Corvette or the Cutter. Let's go straight to those. They're huge. They're massive. I want to see what they are. So let's go ahead and we jump in the Viper.
Yeah, I messed around with it last week. It's quite cool. So many ships.
Yeah, so
I want them all. I want them all.
and I think that's the thing I find a little bit odd when people say about it. It's like, oh, we want all of the ships that we were promised in Kickstarter because we were promised X number of ships. It's like, what are you going to do when there's X plus 10? You can't. It's like, oh, we were promised 30 ships. Why don't we have 30 ships? It's like, well, when we've got 40 ships, what are you going to complain about then? It's like,
I want more populated systems.
Yeah, it'd be the next thing in there. It's always something else. But I think the important thing is when you look at these ships in there, is they all have a distinct role, a distinct purpose, and the question is, what's going to fill the gap next? I mean, I know that Frontier have been said many times about this idea that they have like a spine, and each ship is like a section of the backbone, and so they can see that we've got a gap between A and B. The Asp Scout, of course. I can buy one of those as well. Because obviously they saw a need, they saw a gap between the ships, and they're trying to fill it. So it makes. Oh, sorry, Abacus. Should we do this community goal with Toxic Frog tomorrow? Yeah, if you want to do that tomorrow, yeah, we'll get set up and we get in a wing again, and we'll give it a go. Arathon, do we know the ranks for the new ships yet? No, we don't. We don't know them. I'm assuming it's going to be pretty high. I mean,
I don't know. You don't really need that much of a rank for an Anaconda, if you need any rank at all, actually.
Well, yeah, true. Well, but the Anaconda isn't a ship which is one of those ones which is in locked as out. I mean, if you look at like the Imperial Clipper, for example, you need to be Baron rank, which we now have. Yes,
Yay.
Yes, because we can buy a Clipper. We just buy one and we just park it there and polish it occasionally, and just lovingly stare at it. So you have to be Baron rank, which is 7 out of the 14 to get the Clipper. But when you look at, look at the way the ranks are associated. You've got let's look at the Federation, for example, because everyone says Empire gets too much love. So the Federation, you've got the 3rd rank, Midshipman, gives you the dropship. 5th rank gives you the assault ship. 7th Ensign gives you the gunship. So I would say it would make sense that the Corvette is another 2 up again. Maybe Lieutenant Commander, that sort of level, so 9 out of the 14 possible ranks. That would kind of make sense that you have a ship every 2 ranks. I would hope that is the case.
I know I've been grinding missions the last couple of weeks in preparation because I want to get a Corvette.
That's exactly what Abacus and I were up until like midnight last night, trying to get the ranks up as high as we possibly could.
It's been a while since I've ranked up. I don't see like rank up missions at all, actually.
It's one of those things that you kind of have to scout around to find. There's a couple of good places where you get a lot of those missions over and over again.
I didn't realize it was system specific. I thought it didn't matter as long as you're in, like, for me, Federation system, you would get them.
You can get them. There are some systems which I think just based on their current situation and what kind of economy they are and what state they're in and things like that can cause them to generate more missions of a specific type. Do you know what I mean? So it's like there are a couple of sweet spots where there's you get a lot of donation missions because there's constant war or conflict, so the station is always in need of repair, which is why you get more of these donation missions and things like that. So
okay,
so many layers. Where am I? I'm in the ceiling. I do like the Asp Scout. I had a quick play with this. It's a fantastic little explorer ship. It's got some pretty good jump range on it for the size. Not quite as high as the Asp naturally, as you can imagine, but comparable. It is pretty cool. I do like it. I'm gonna leave that up on there. So equally, like we were saying there. I mean, I'm thinking, if you're looking at Lieutenant Commander for the Corvette, I'm going to guess that you need to be Count maybe for the Imperial Cutter. I think that's where I stick my my pin in the wall sort of thing. But of course, speculation alert. I do not know. And to be honest, I don't think everyone at Frontier would know it anyway, because it's one of those things that someone needs to look at the chart and see where it fits in, and say, is this enough effort to reward the player to get this and that kind of thing. It takes a lot of consideration.
Yes, I was just noticed there that the seating arrangement for the Asp Scout. I've bought one myself, but I didn't actually realize it had a second seat down underneath.
Yeah. So
Pilot.
it's kind of a mini version of what we've seen, like in the Type 9, for example. You've got that the deck below you, which is really, really cool. But you can imagine. See, this is what it gets me really excited about these things. You can imagine that that's just captain's quarters, and it's supposed to be an exploration ship. So you can imagine going out there, finding a really cool spot, and then just getting out of the pilot's seat, going down into your quarters, and just sitting there and just observing the location you're in from that bottom seat there, just chilling out with a cup of Earl Grey. Or a vacuum sealed cup of Earl Grey. But I mean, it's cool. It's nice to see these designs and the fact that they've designed all these ships with the internal spaces already built out, which is the thing. It's so cool. So cool. Let's go ahead and sorry, let's check on the chat.
Yeah, I don't think we haven't missed any questions, I don't think.
Okay, Chrono121. What about the top rank for the Empire and the Federation? Is there going to be some ship that's going to need a top rank? Not yet, but there may be something in the future which fills that gap. And this is exactly the kind of thing that we were saying, is that the Frontier are kind of slotting in things as they're needed. So when we get to the point that more players have got to the higher levels, they're going to be like, oh yeah, we really need something at this thing for people to aim for, something for them to shoot for. So we probably will get ships filling in those gaps later on. My hope is that as you work up to things like Admiral in the Federation ranks, that you start to get cool opportunities, not necessarily a ship, but you're allowed to do missions that you wouldn't normally be allowed to do, like bomb a base and things like that, like we saw from the earlier games. That would be pretty cool. Sorry, just kind of scroll through the chat. The Asp Scout is a 2-seater, Veland. Yes, it is, absolutely. Which was a nice surprise when I had a quick look around it. Veland, Crash can fly with his kid in it. Well, yes, hopefully. Like I said right at the start, I have to upgrade his machine first, because now we know the min specs of Horizons. Unfortunately, he's not going to be able to run it. But of course, one of the things that was mentioned is coming into Season 2 is multi-crew, so we'll be able to work together. Don't know exactly what someone else might be doing in that other seat yet.
Yeah, that's something I've been asking myself as well. Like, what could they? What could they possibly allow the other player to do so they wouldn't get bored?
Absolutely, there has to be some meaningful gameplay mechanics, something for you to do other than sitting there and being a passenger, because it's not fun being in a car ride and not being able to do anything. But I don't want to go too far down the path of talking about anything else, but I mean, for anyone who's been following along with Star Citizen, obviously they said about they've got this whole repair mechanic built in. It's something that they're working towards. I can imagine similar roles in Elite, that you might be balancing the power management of internal modules, looking for system damage, and maybe diverting some of the internal nanobots to go over here and repair this thing, maybe giving the main player, the pilot, an advantage because they can shift things from A to B internally and stuff like that, which would be pretty cool.
Yeah, sure. And there's a question there. Arathon multi-crew has been said to be a wing function. Do you think the 4-player limit will impact this?
That's going to be tricky one. I don't know. I would hope that we could have more people working together. I mean, we've seen in the ships at the moment, the biggest ships that we've got, maybe 3-seat on the bridge. So like the Anaconda's got 3 seats there. Yeah. So you can imagine 3 people up in the bridge, maybe 1 down in like an engineering department. That would be an entire wing, and it seems a shame that you've basically got a team on 1 ship then, and you can no longer work in a wing. I would hope that by some stretch you would at least have some change which allows you to see that, this is that icon is Team A and this icon is Team B, and there's some extension to that. It's going to be a really tricky one to see how that works in game, because it is a complete game change to the way that everything works. I don't want to do too much of that. I don't.
It's a tough one to answer. Tough one.
Yeah.
I invited one of my buddies to the stream, and he asked the question: do you think you'll ever need to manage your pilot's emotions? No. We'll leave it up to the bobbleheads.
Yes. Should we blow him up? Yes. My bobbleheads told me to blow you up on there. Yeah, I think most of the pilots out there currently struggle to manage their emotions anyway, so...
ripping their flight sticks apart because they just got beaten by some kid in a Viper.
Absolutely.
It happened to me last night. I didn't destroy my flight stick, but I was in a Python and this guy in a Viper was absolutely kicking my butt. I was not having fun. I'm just a bad pilot or something, I don't know.
But no, it's interesting to see. I mean, how these things are going to change the core gameplay. I mean, when you get to the point where you have multi-crew ships, people running around doing things inside your ships, there's going to have to be something which slows down the combat considerably, because at the moment it's quite rapid. You can destroy a ship really, really quickly. If you aim for the power plant, you take it down to zero. Boom! Some ships were blowing up almost instantaneously, and particularly if you have something like a Fer-de-Lance versus a Sidewinder, you'd rip it to shreds and it's gone. You can see that when you start getting onto these bigger ships with multiple people running around, if the ships are blown up in like 30 seconds, it's no fun for the rest of the team, because they don't. If the pilot's struggling to get that Anaconda from getting blown up by the multiple vultures and Fer-de-Lances all swarming around it and blowing it up, it's going to be no fun for the people on the Anaconda, because they won't have been able to achieve anything in that 30 seconds it takes to take the shields down, and boom, that's it, the Anaconda's gone. But if you have someone sat in the co-pilot seat on the Anaconda, micromanaging the shields, for example, maybe adjusting the frequencies so that the enemy's weapons are less effective, balancing various system powers and things like that, so there's more powers are going into the shields and things like, so if there's something for the players to do which extends the duration, the period of time of combat, it allows it to be more fun for everyone playing. And I think that's one of the things that it's gonna have to change, like we've seen in 1.4, where they introduced when the power plant goes down to zero, it doesn't just automatically explode anymore. They introduced that additional layer. We're going to see a lot more changes like that come in for multi-crew, I think, which makes multi-crew more meaningful and more fun. That's absolutely going to change. So don't get used to the way you play the game now, because it will get better. So
Arathon's got another interesting question. Will materials be piratable? Hope so. Then privateers will acquire surface-originating materials in 1.5 without Horizons.
I hope so too.
Yes.
I think it would be a bit of a shame. I mean, I can understand why Frontier have made the materials something that you can get on surfaces, because it's an incentive to buy Season 2. I mean, let's be honest, that's what it's about, really. But when you look at it, it makes absolute sense. You should be able to steal these things off players, or at least be able to trade them. In some way, give them to another player so that you can help each other out and things like that. I mean, you could do it with cargo. Why not? Why not with materials? So I would like to see that as a possibility as well.
I have to wait and see, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll find out. Sooner than a Soony thing on a Soon's day. Roughly next week sometime.
Oh, so exciting.
I know, it's like I said, just going. I mean, we've had the space combat, we've had all of the various scenarios that you can have in space. Obviously, there are a lot of different scenarios you can do in space, but it is a lot more restrictive than when you get onto a surface, and the things you're going to be able to do on a surface is a total game changer. It's going to be so much more content you can do down on vehicles and around buildings and things like that. Absolutely. Dark's Mac is saying on a Soon's Day. Yes, a Soon's Day. That's the day after a Moon's Day. I think they're still aiming for the Tuesday. So fingers crossed. And I just flicking through the newsletter again. Let's go
Is there
back.
anything we missed?
Couple of things I must give a shout out to these because these are really cool. Now I highlighted this to the guys, to Ed and everyone, and they thought it was awesome as well. So I'm glad that it's gone in. So we've got. Let me try and get a good shot on the screen for everyone. Where is it? No, I can't. I can't make that full screen. It's going to break. Okay, so this was done by Commander Fifth Horseman. A nice piece of art here. This is actually now the wallpaper on my phone because it's awesome, and I just love the idea of a station deorbiting and being abandoned on the surface of some alien world like this. It's really, really cool. You can see all the little Type 9s and anacondas and stuff coming in to salvage what's left of the station there. Really, really cool piece of art. So. Tip my hat to you, sir. Awesome stuff.
Yes, makes me jealous when I see these kinds of things. Why can't I do that?
Yes, it's so much better. But yeah, no, it's really, really cool, and it kind of gives you a little glimpse as to what might be possible with future updates in the game. Seeing all of the possibilities of different types of worlds and everything out there. Why couldn't you see wrecked we see wrecked abandoned ships on the surfaces of these worlds in Horizons. What else could come? Would you see we've seen fully operational bases at the moment fighting back at people in the SRVs. We haven't seen abandoned bases or pirate bases, prison colonies, things like that. There's a lot of different variation in just the different building types, so why not see something like this, which is pretty cool. Stephen Usher said, "Yeah, you're right. It wouldn't survive the fall."
No.
It's obviously made out of hand wavium, which managed to maintain the structural integrity as it entered the atmosphere. Oh, Commander Marjorie, see you in the void. Thank you for joining in tonight. T Corkin got a link to the pic. Yeah, I think it's up on there. There we go. Go ahead and put that in there for you. And the last one, this must get a shout out. This is really, really awesome. A Lego Anaconda.
Oh yeah, that was. I like that one.
Dude, this is so cool. This is so cool. And I think in the latest edition in there in the gallery, I think there's a little tiny SRV as well, which is the cutest little thing like that. And
oh yeah.
I sent a message to the guy that did this, and I said, you have to put this on the Lego Ideas website, because I don't know if everyone's not familiar with the Lego Ideas. So Lego set up this really cool kind of like a Kickstarter sort of idea where you can go and create your own models, submit them to them, and if you get at least 10,000 people support it, they will consider it as being created as a proper set that you can buy in the stores. So I said to this guy, dude, you have to submit this. It's like I would like that button straight through, but it looks really, really awesome. And is there another? I think there's another.
Why stop at the Anaconda? I mean,
yeah, exactly. Make all of the additional stuff as well. I think there is one on Lego Ideas, which is an Imperial Clipper. I think. There we go. Look at that little buggy.
Buggy.
Which is awesome. It's a great little thing there. And you got the little cargo canisters, which is really, really awesome. You got the little hatches added onto the Anaconda as well for it to come out. Really, really cool stuff. I love it. I absolutely love it.
Why does he have so many speakers on his desk? I guess he's a sound junkie guy.
Yeah. Oh, we got a little outpost here. We got a little base for the little SRE to go in, and I think that's probably to scale when you look at the SRV on the nose of the Anaconda there. Teeny tiny little thing. Can't wait to start jumping the buggies over the ships. Just going, really, really cool. But yeah, that is really cool. So if you haven't already checked that out, please go and have a look on the Lego Ideas website and have a look at that Imperial Clipper, and just click the button. All you got to do is just click support. It's that simple.
Yep, exactly.
And the best bit is, even if they reach the 10,000 votes for the one ship, then Lego might consider doing a range of them as well. I think if it gets enough support from the community and stuff on there, then it will kick off and hopefully be a little bit get a little bit of a bandwagon rolling on there. See if I can find it.
I'd buy one.
Here we go. I'll put it in the chat. Here's the Imperial Courier. There he is. I wasn't sure if it was a clipper or a courier. There we go. That
That's
is pretty
nice.
cool. That is pretty cool, to be fair. Done his own little SRV as well, which is sweet. A little bit bigger scale. But yeah, all you got to do, go to that link there, and go ahead and just click the little support button on there, and hopefully we can get this up. Got plenty of days. We've got another year to get it up, and that would just be really cool to be able to buy an Elite Dangerous Lego set. How cool would that be?
You've got to have one of those on your desk.
Absolutely, absolutely. I would buy the heck out of that thing.
And let your son build it, no doubt.
Of course, and he might need assistance, and I'm glad to help. With the construction of said Lego set. Yeah, of course.
Done the same thing myself.
But if we can have Star Wars sets, we can have Elite Dangerous sets. So let's get that out there.
Advocate says I need a bigger desk. Yep.
Tistar,
Well,
yes, Tistar. If you've done, sorry, I've just saw that in. If you've done the Cobra and the Sidewinder, please do submit it to Lego Ideas. I would definitely support that. I've been saying this for over a year. I think when it first came out, I was like, we really need Lego Elite Dangerous. I would love it.
Tistar, do you have images of those? Actually, I'd
Yeah,
like to
if
see
you've got
those.
them, put them in the chat. That'd be cool.
Okay.
Pace Farm 73 says, a Lego Orbis station with working landing pads. Scale wise, I think I would need a bigger house for that. Mr. Junks is starting on a full scale model of the station.
Of course.
That would be awesome.
Pixar didn't happen.
Yes, yeah, but yeah, it would. Crikey, it would be a massive scale thing to work through that. But it would be really cool. I'd love to see it. Maybe a little micro. We do a couple of micro ones. We'll start with the smallest one, the teeny tiniest little Sidewinder, and kind of, maybe make an Anaconda about 3 inches long. Something like that. That would be cool. That'd be cool.
Yes.
So some of the other things that have gone into beta, there's loads of little incremental tweaks and improvements. Like I said, I think the most fun one is, for me, in the galaxy map, because I do like my exploration. Now, we were talking about materials. We can now go on to the FSD boost option down in the bottom here, and we can go ahead and yank up the range. So if you've got, there's 3 different boost levels based on the materials you have available, the quality of the materials, types of materials, which allow you to significantly boost the jump range of your ship for that one jump. If you've got enough materials to do it, of course. And I found that if you kit out an ASP, which probably has one of the better jump ranges, you can at least double your jump range up to the 70-80 light year sort of range, which
Wow.
is huge. It's absolutely enormous, and that's really going to allow us to do some of these really cool locations, which currently are kind of ruled out, which is a big shame.
Yeah, you definitely use it to get out of a tight spot if you're sort of stuck somewhere.
Yeah. So you might want to be. It kind of makes more sense when you look at it that way. That what Sandro said about the materials being persisted along with your character. It kind of, you get the idea that materials are going to be very rare, very difficult to find, and when you do find them, you're going to want to cling on to the damn things. So it kind of, I understand why he's being a little bit more forgiving with that. In what they can do, but when you start getting up to some of these ranges high up above the galactic plane here, and you have huge jumps that there's no way you could get to, I think that's going to be really cool. That explorers can start reaching areas that they couldn't previously reach. So that's going to be really fun. Oh, what's this one? See, my explorer sense is tingling. But yeah, and it's a shame at the moment that you've got some of these named star systems you just can't reach because they're way out of the approachable range. But yeah, so that's going to be cool when we can do the boosting.
Yes.
Casual. Oh, your ASP is 34.7, so I think you could probably double that to about 70. Fiery Toad, yeah, 67 light years in an ASP, which is crazy, absolutely crazy.
Massive jump range. It'd be awesome if you could do that constantly, but yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, that maybe you could store enough material for a few of those jumps, so you could get out to some regions or get yourself out of trouble and stuff like that. But I'm imagining that these materials are going to be very, very rare, like so difficult to find. And of course, they're down on the surfaces of planets. That's so much area to search. That is. I can't even begin to comprehend how long it would take you to find all this stuff. Only 10 AU surface area for you to search for tiny little materials, which are a few grams to throw into your FSD reactor. It's going to be difficult. No more questions coming at the moment.
Ria said, I tried to get to the edge of Galaxy in an Anaconda with max jump range possible, 41.5-ish. Yeah. That's impressive. Couldn't continue, 5k from reaching her goal. Oh. Sorry.
That's a shame. Well, that's where I'm kind of looking at. I mean, you can imagine a 41.5 light year jump range in an Anaconda. If you had the level 3 boost, which I think is approximately double, you're talking that 80 light year jump that you could do, so you can get out to some of those really annoying stars. They're just out of reach off the edge of the galactic disk, and you can start to put your name on areas that formerly couldn't be reached, which is going to be really cool.
Onion head for your FSD.
Absolutely, yeah. Gives them a little kick. Yeah, but I like the idea of that mechanic. I think that's going to add some really interesting elements to the game, and it just goes to prove that there's so much in this game that even the devs haven't even seen all of it yet, because there's regions that you just can't reach. So it's going to be really, really cool to be able to get to those finally.
Interesting question. Anyone know if we will ever be able to hire Merc pilots?
Oh, hire them. I mean, this is kind of going back into the multi-crew territory, isn't it? It's been confirmed that we will have multi-crew sometime during Season 2. They have said that obviously you can have your friends sat in your cockpit next to you, you can have friends in your wing, so I'm thinking with the multi-crew they're going to have to extend that to NPC logic as well, so that people in solo play can still get the benefit of being in a multi-crew situation and stuff. Of course, this is massive speculation alert. I have to put that on. No, I cannot confirm nor deny. But yeah, it kind of makes sense that you could be in a situation with NPC and you could have a additional NPC come along with you and provide support. Makes absolute sense. Valond, yeah, get some backup for traders. Exactly, that's kind of makes sense. You could hire someone to follow along with you.
Tistar has posted a link to his little Lego build.
Ooh.
Awesome.
Oh,
excellent,
dude, that's sweet.
See that you can get a bunch of those on your desk.
That is so cool. Yeah. See that's what I mean. You just start off with the teeny tiniest little ship, and then you work up to the bigger ones, and eventually you could have that entire thing. Maybe an outpost. We'll work up to an outpost first, and then we'll figure out the mechanics of how the heck you build an orbit station 5 kilometers across. That would be an impressive build.
Yes, it would.
Velon, do you bet yet that we have to pay them by the jumps? Yeah, that's an interesting mechanic. Again, this is kind of the problem with introducing a mechanic like that, like having NPC wingmen to come along with you and help you out with things. It's how do you pay them? How do you hire them? Where do you get them from? How many can you have at one time? It's questions like this. When you're a games designer, it's like you see this wall of problems that you have to work through before it becomes a workable mechanic in the game, and this is the reason why we haven't seen this yet. It's because there's all of these things that need to make sense first. We need to have all of these systems and mechanics in the game working in order for them to come on. Bitstorm, Bitstorm saying, "Bring on the military drives." I suppose the materials kind of give us that, really. I mean, the military drives were basically in the earlier games. They were essentially the same kind of drives. They were slightly more compact, but they run on a special kind of fuel, which was it a molecule binding some antimatter or something like that, wasn't it? I forget the description in the older games. So when you think about it, the materials are kind of going back to that again, that you have these special compounds that you can throw into the ship to make them operate at higher capacity for a short period of time. Brings on the interesting question of whether or not 1 ton of hydrogen fuel would get converted into 1 ton of toxic waste after doing a boost jump. Wonder if that's wonder if that happens. 'Cause, I mean, that's what used to happen in Frontier Elite 2, wasn't it? You get the old 1 ton of radioactives dumped into your cargo bay that you had to then get rid of.
I've totally forgot about that.
Yeah, it was a pain.
It's been a while. It's been a while.
I mean, I think that's the interesting thing. I mean, apart from the speculation, the easiest thing to do if you want to know what's coming next in the game is exactly what I do. Is go back and look at the earlier games and see what they did there. And you will absolutely see that it's like, well, they had this mechanic, this idea of this particular thing working this way. So it would make sense that in the next version of the game, the next update, then you're absolutely going to see this kind of mechanic layered back on, like the mining on the surfaces with the MB4 machines. We can see today in the newsletter that yes, they have still considered that, and it is going to be something which gets introduced into the game.
Yep, definitely.
Yeah. So I think that's the easiest thing to do. I mean, it sounds like I know what I'm talking about a lot of the time. A lot of it is just down to just looking at what they've done, and you will see that the previous games are very much like a blueprint, a template for what they want to do.
But you know everything about the Elite games, Kerrash.
I wouldn't say I know everything. I mean, it's just a few of I might know a few of the things. But I mean that's I consider myself the luckiest fan in the world to have managed to land on my feet there and get involved with the dev guys and everything.
Yes, you are lucky. I'm jealous.
I say every time I when I go there and I meet the guys, I'm like, I wish more people can come along. I've spoke to them several times. I mean, they love the idea of doing tours for people. For fans, so they can go and meet the guys and go around the office and everything. But it's one of those things that it's trying to do it in a way that doesn't disrupt the team, because obviously they are incredibly busy.
But you don't want to bother programmers. I mean,
exactly. Yes, I know that. Even when I'm headphones on, head down, doing my work, and someone taps me on the shoulder and says, "What? Oh, a cup of tea. Thank you.
Hi, boss."
Yes, exactly.
While we're on the subject of frontier development, are you still going to do the questions thing?
It is, yeah. It's very much still active. I've not received a lot more questions at the moment. The ones that I have had, I've put forward to them, but obviously they have all been busy, heads down on Horizons. So thank you for reminding me. Yeah, so if you do have any questions in the chat that I can answer, or I haven't got a good enough answer for you, then please do send them in a Twitch message or through the Stream Queue site. Have we got the link? Stream questions, that site might not be active at the moment, but I'll put the link in there. So any questions that go through to that, they get through to the dev guys, and if there's any questions I can't answer now, then I will go ahead and try and contact the guys and get your questions answered for you in a future stream. So please do keep them coming.
Yes.
What's that? Ecos, so we need a ZX Spectrum module to plot a route to a new star. I've lost where that was in the chat. Kudos, +1 for the Specky reference.
A bucket of donuts for everyone, just to say thanks. Now that's good spirit.
That's
right there.
Yeah, exactly. That's it. Yeah, if you arrive with gifts, then that will not be as disruptive. I think that's what I did last time actually when I arrived for. Was it Gamescom? Oh no, it wasn't Gamescom. Was it E3? It might have been E3. I did come with a huge, big carry bag full of cakes and biscuits and things for the team anyway. So I thought they deserve a quick break.
Best day ever for them.
Absolutely. Oh, I'm gonna go ahead and get these. I love these guns on this thing. It's insane. Look at these things. Look at these.
Yeah, I had 2 massive plasma accelerators on mine, and it melted anacondas within seconds. It was awesome.
Yeah, oh, it's crazy what you can fit on this thing, and I love the fact that you've got these 2 huge modules that effectively extend out of the hull of the ship to just house these platforms. I mean, these things are probably bigger than a couple of Arctic trucks side by side. These things here.
It's hard to imagine.
Insane. Yeah, that's what I mean. It's really difficult to get a sense of scale on these things. And there was a really, really interesting thing that someone mentioned, and I mentioned it a long time ago, but it came up on the forum again with people saying, could Frontier put people walking around along the walkways and the rafters inside when you dock and you go down into the hangars, you can have people walking around. I would love that too. I would really love that in there. And we've seen the characters now. One of the things that's coming into season 2 obviously is going to be the character creation, so you can see the commanders and stuff. I'm fingers crossed that means we're going to start to see humans, because I would love to see them just walking past the windows when you land in the stations. Just little details like that I think would be really, really nice, and it would really help you get a sense of scale of these things, because I mean, like when you look at the bore on that cannon, I think a guy could stand up inside that. That's it's absolutely enormous. But it's I think it would really help to bring life to the background of the game as well. When you start to see little humans walking around, it would be more believable that it is an active, breathing, living world out there with people in.
Yes, indeed.
Velon saying, imagine splatting those people against your condo's windshield.
Well, there's no windshield wipers, so that could be a problem.
That's instant gameplay there. So you have to go EVA and scrape off the people off the thing. But no, that was something that David mentioned. Someone asked, will we ever see, for example, little people in EVA suits outside repairing the station? And as much as it would be cool and stuff, I think he immediately said, it's like, well, they wouldn't last very long is the problem, because people would see those as like, oh, pew, bop, splat. There goes the poor little person. So, but I mean, on the other hand, it would be great to see little limpet drones going around and doing things. Picking up the scrap inside a station, it makes me laugh when you go inside a station, you see the chunks of scrap rolling around from someone who's just been destroyed. I would love to see little limpets going and picking it up and taking it to the back and salvaging it and things like that. That would be really cool.
Yes, indeed. Yes, Commander Benkai, Toad's already answered him, but he's would like to see different types of ammo for cannons.
Yes, thanks, Toad. Yes, so following on from if we go back into the game now, so we can see this new section we have for materials. Tantalizingly saying at the bottom left there, we can have 300 materials, whatever they are. So it doesn't just mean materials for affecting your jump range. As Toad's saying now, you could craft. Oh, Ria's gone again. You could craft new and better ammo types for the various weapons. And there was a third option, wasn't there? There was shields. That was it. You can have something which makes your shields more effective, something which makes your ammo more effective, or something which makes your FSD range higher.
Yes, indeed.
So that was the three things that was mentioned that you would be able to do with the various materials. But obviously that is just a little hint at the looting and crafting system that Sandro so wants to put in, because I think the thing he's aiming for is not just consumables that you can craft, but the idea that you can have modules. You can make improved weapon types, customized weapon types with purple lasers, or different flair on the various things. Ooh, what have we got here? Pew! Uh-oh. Ba-dum! Someone's attacking me again. But yeah, the idea that you could have... I can't fight. I'm not paying attention to the screen. Arms like noodles. Farewell, Commander. Thanks for joining in tonight. Pace Farm. I don't know about fuzzy dice, but it's something which has been talked about a lot. Yeah. It's been mentioned a lot because it is hidden away in the game files. There is a placeholder for fuzzy dice. But I think it's much like the bobbleheads. It's going to be one of those things that you could probably purchase on the store as a what do you call it? Something which doesn't give you an in-game advantage. It's just a not novelty
accessory.
I'm trying to think of the term. Like I can't believe my mind's gone blank.
Anyway, so you'll have 10 bobbleheads and then the fuzzy dice, and then you'll need to fly by scanner only, because you can't see anything out of the cockpit.
Yeah, that'd be better. And then factor in the trumbull infestation, which you're going to get as well. So it's just going to be chaos, isn't it? Cosmetic, that's it. Thank you, thank you there. Cosmetic item.
I didn't know what word you were trying to read.
Yeah, I was trying to think, because obviously the Frontier are dead against the idea of any kind of pay to win content. So it's the cosmetic thing, yeah. But yeah, you can imagine all these accessories coming in 2.0. I'm hoping we're going to see more and more cool items in the future as well. A hula girl, yes. I mean, I think, do we have a hula girl back in Alpha? I can't remember now, Ian. We had.
I didn't. I wasn't part of Alpha.
Oh,
I did see bobbleheads in the beta.
Yeah, there was a character from the Lost Winds. There was the Christmas tree. There was another one. There was a third one. Rhea, Rhea, why are you shooting me? It's beta. It's fine. Doesn't matter. Pew, pew, pew. There was 3. I know there was 3, but yeah, I hope we start to see things like that.
It's the little things that makes it cool.
Exactly, and it makes it more customizable. I mean, we love the paint jobs. We love the idea of the bobbleheads. Something to make your ship your own, not only in terms of the cosmetic stuff as well, but the whole looting and crafting. Like I said, it's going to be able to make custom modules, so you can tweak and tune your ship to your particular gameplay style, which I think is going to be really, really cool as well. Christmas tree, yes, that was it. Thank you, T. Corkin, because they put the bobbleheads in just in time for Christmas, for the alpha for us to play with. That was awesome. I want the Christmas tree back. I'm hoping we get that back. I would love to see that come back for free in time for this Christmas. That would be pretty cool.
I'll probably do something.
Let's start an all-out war. So as we're, I think we've gone slightly over the normal time that I would go for. So I think we just have a little bit of chaos while we're signing off. It's full-on war. So yes, thank you very much, Ian. It was great to have you on again.
And my pleasure was all mine. A lot of fun.
Always good fun to get the speculation alert flashing up on the screen. But so much more to come, and I'm looking forward to the gaming events over the next year as well. The things we're going to see now that Horizons is a thing, and we're actually going to be able to show the planetary landing at the various events. Roll on to things like E3. It's going to be really, really cool to be able to talk about all the things that you can do on the surfaces and things like that.
Oh, definitely.
Great fun. So thank you very much for everyone who's tuned in tonight as well. It's been lovely to have you here and speculate away with the community. And I think we will leave it there, getting destroyed by various bits and pieces. Oh, yeah.
Don't run into the station there.
I've just hit the station, so that's me in trouble now. We'll leave it in an all-out war.
Fair enough.
So with that, I would like to bid you all farewell. Thank you very much again, Ian.
Not a problem, thank you very much.
And thank you to everyone out there. But until next time, see you in the void, Commanders.
Bye-bye.